Really exciting video today. I've got my hands on the new Callaway Opus wedges. Now we've just come back from the Open Championship at Troon where we saw Xander Schauffele take the win with one of these wedges in the bag. So I'm here at Denton, I'm going to test these wedges out and we're going to see what makes them so good that Xander had one in the bag and that helped him to take that championship win. We're going to talk you guys through these wedges, the different technology in them, try a few different shots and really put these wedges to the test. Before we get into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you've hit that subscribe button. We know that most of the viewers watching our videos are not subscribed to the Golfalot YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but it massively helps us out. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. So I've got two different models here. We've got the standard Opus and then the Opus Platinum. Now the Platinum is that bit more premium. There's a little bit more technology within this, which we will talk you guys through. We've also got a couple of different finishes. And to be honest, all of these wedges look great and I can't wait to give them a go. Let's take a deeper look into the standard Opus wedges. Now obviously the first thing is the design is very different. In my opinion, these are a little bit more refined than say the Jaws wedges that we had before, just a little bit simpler. We've obviously got the new name on the back here, and as you can see there is a very different finish with the darker wedge. So with the darker finish, Callaway are calling this Black Shadow. It's not quite that matte black or painted black finish, and there's almost hints of different colours, sort of purple and blue in there, which I really like. I think this looks great down by the ball, and overall I think there's a very clean finish to them. When we then go on to the Platinum version, as you can see there's a little bit more going on here. We've kind of got this little ribbed pattern. It's almost like you've got grooves on the back of the club face here. Other than those extra grooves, there's not too much of a difference from the standard Opus, other than we've also got this little tungsten detail on the bottom there. Alright, so we're going to put these wedges to the test. I'm going to hit loads of different types of shots from around the greens, in the bunkers, different pitch shots, and then get back to you guys with how I'm getting on with them. Go on. Hey! So coming on to the tech behind these wedges, now pretty much everything that the tech is focusing on is just looking at getting consistently more spin. So the ways that we're seeing that is there's more grooves here. The grooves are tighter together so that you can get more of them on the face, and we've also got grooves within the grooves. And the reason for that is so that when you open up the club face, you're still preserving those high levels of spin. We've also got a new face blast in these Opus wedges, which is meant to give the golfer more spin on those half shots and specifically shorter shots around the green. We've also got a new shape in these wedges with a higher toe peak and more angle in the leading edge. And then obviously we've also got the Opus Platinum, so that's meant to be the higher premium wedge if you're looking to get even more out of your wedge. There's two other bits of technologies on top of all the technology we saw in the standard model. So in this wedge we've got MIM construction, that stands for metal injection molding. So that's just meant to give an extra premium feel to these wedges. As we said, one of the visible differences with the Platinum wedges is you can see the tungsten there. That's reminding you that you've got tungsten higher on the face here. And what that's designed to do is help control the ball flight, stop it from popping up really high, keep it that little bit lower while still keeping high levels of spin, which Callaway are saying that those better players want to see from their wedges. Even from back here I can see that there is loads of spin on those golf balls, as we would expect from what we were seeing indoors. Looked like they were just landing and stopping pretty much straight away. What I was really impressed with was that it was still doing that even when I took a little bit of the turf. So as far as forgiveness goes in wedges, I'd say these are pretty good on the forgiveness level as well. I feel like like around the greens, there's a lot of control with these wedges. They're not super spinny around the greens like they are on those pitch shots where they seem to be stopping up very quickly. I was expecting them to check up a lot on those pitch shots, to be honest, because of what we saw from the data when we took these clubs indoors and tested them out on TrackMan. Let's take a deeper dive into those numbers to see what kind of spin rates we were seeing with these wedges. In terms of the data, we took these wedges to Hooked and got the TrackMan numbers to talk you guys through them. Now, there's not loads that you can say about wedges. We're not necessarily looking at the carry distances. I'm more interested in the spin rates. And I was actually really impressed with the spins that we were getting from these wedges. With the 52 and the 48 degree, I was hitting full shots and I was seeing spin rates of 8,200 and 8,400. And for me, that is pretty high in terms of spin. I even saw some shots going over 9,000, which was really impressive for me. And then with the 58 degree, I was just hitting half shots, but I was still seeing the spin rates up at 7,800. So again, pretty impressive numbers. So coming on to a verdict for the Callaway Opus wedges. Now, as I said earlier, I definitely think that the overall look of these wedges is an improvement on what we've seen on previous models. To me, it's all very clean and very professional looking. I would definitely say that I prefer the look of the standard model compared to this Platinum one. With the Platinum model, Callaway are going for this more premium feel to it. However, for me, with the added details, it actually kind of goes the other way and it makes me prefer the standard model more. However, overall, I really like the shape and the design of these. I feel as though there's a very neutral shape to the actual head size. You've not got anything too aggressive or too out there. For me, it suits my eye and it's just what I would like to see with the shape of my wedges. Now, I have to admit, I don't find these wedges super soft. I think they have a very solid feel to them, which I quite like in terms of control and being able to hit these around the greens. However, if you're the type of player that wants that really soft feel to them, that's not exactly what we're getting with these wedges. With that in mind though, I did think there was a lot of forgiveness here with these wedges, which I was really enjoying. You could keep that sense of control and stability, even if you didn't quite strike it 100% clean on both the shorter shots around the green and those pitch approach shots. Obviously, a big focus on these wedges was the ability to get really high, consistent spin rates. And to be honest, I think Callaway have definitely delivered with that. We saw that from the TrackMan report, and we've also seen that in terms of the performance around the greens and how quickly these wedges are stopping up. So if you're looking for a very consistent and controllable wedge, I would say these are definitely a good option to go for. Finally, of course, we've got to touch on price. So these wedges for the standard Opus model come in with an RRP of £179. Now, what I find really interesting is that the Platinum model is then £50 more expensive, obviously because that is meant to be the more premium model and we've got some extra bits of technology in there. However, for me, I can't really justify that increase in the £50 because I wasn't necessarily seeing any massive performance benefits with the Platinum model. I feel like the standard model are a really great set of wedges. For me, they performed really well in all of the areas that I wanted them to, and so I don't think there's really a need for that upper class, more premium level because those wedges have performed so well. The £179 for the standard model is pretty much what we would expect to see in the market, and I would definitely say that the wedges have performed well in that category, in that price point. However, that additional £50 for the Platinum, in my opinion, I'm not sure that we can really justify that. But luckily, the standard version performed incredibly well, so you don't need to necessarily fork out that extra £50. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more.